Hey, this is Adam with Tied to Nature. This is week ending February 20th. Another update from Yellowstone and sharing some photos with you. So, quick update Bobcat. It seems like it's being seen more regular than it was early this season. It's not being seen regular, but a friend, Mendy, who was guiding on a photography trip, mentioned she had a pretty cool encounter. She was able to see the bobcat, and it sounded like what happened was there's a bison calf that's been out by itself, and there was a coyote in the area, so they're kind of watching what was going on. And the coyote snuck over, or I guess ran over towards a log jam, and as it did that, a bobcat popped out and ran up the tree, and the coyote went over and it was maybe eating something or stole something from the bobcat. And it was as the bobcat went up the tree, a bald eagle flew off. So kind of one of those unreal experiences that she got to have with her clients. Also, pine martens. There's been a couple different places over on the canyon side as well as along the Madison that pine martens have been hanging out. And I went looking for them faithfully this week, and it sounds like I was always just behind or just ahead of where they were at. Uh, I think the best sighting was today. I saw quite a few videos, just cell phone videos. I haven't seen any real pictures of it yet, but there was a pine marten chasing a red squirrel around a tree, and it sounded like it happened for 20 minutes or so. And I was bummed to miss it, but glad to see others were able to see it. And this red squirrel here that you see in this picture, that's the type of squirrel that was being chased around by the pine marten. And so I got a picture of a squirrel, but no pine marten. This guy was, there was actually three of them. We were over at Gibbon Falls and they were hanging out. This one posed for us. It's eating, I think it's the remnants of a pine cone there that it has. Get into this and share a few things with you. Photos from this week. Let's go here. So I have a couple in here that kind of shows a comparison, which is kind of neat. You know, we have a coyote here, which is walking right in front of I believe it was a cow bison. And there was a bunch of bison out there. They were just kind of on the other side of the little part of the river here. And the coyote was out. It looked like it was hunting, it was listening, but never successful in pouncing while we were there. So there's kind of the comparison with a bison, which, you know, 1,000-pound bison behind a 35-pound coyote. And then you got the swans. Three swans here. The two brighter ones, the white ones, are the adults. The brownish one is going to be a cygnet. So a cygnet, just basically a baby from this last year. And this coyote at this point didn't have any interest in really the swans or the ducks were out here. They were much too far off. It was kind of hunting along the bank. Another neat comparison. I think not after this, but one just up a little bit. I have another one, but it's right here. I took a few throughout the day. Well, throughout this encounter, I guess I should say. But bison crossing the river. You get some swans right there and a mallard duck just underneath of it. So just kind of neat having experience like this where you have multiple species all in one area. You see the coyote, a group of bison, the swans, mallard duck, and then we did have some golden eyes. And this was exciting for me on the golden eyes because they just took off and I just grabbed my camera and just went for it. Swung it across, tried to focus and just started shooting. And I think this is the best in-flight duck shots I've ever got. Just camera settings have to be perfect for it. So I just to share a few of those, the bright one here, the male, still nice colors on this one here, the female here. And, usually the males are brighter because in this type of species or the ducks, we have the brighter males, they're going to be courting the females. And so they need to have that brighter plumage as they trying to impress them. Just a few here. Nice setting. I thought the snow added something nice to it. It was kind of little flurries out there. But I think this was one of my favorites of them, getting the male with his wing down, the female with the wing up, kind of matches. This, I added a landscape. I've talked about that last few times, and I kept on making excuses for the weather. The weather hasn't been bad all the time. It's just more a fact of me not taking landscapes, and it's one of those things that I need to work on more. This is one of my favorite pools in the park. This is Opalescent Pool. I love taking people here because of the colors that stand out. There's not a lot of steam coming off this one, and it's a really cool setting. I've taken I don't know how many pictures of this hot spring, and they just don't turn out well. I just don't really like them. I think partially I don't like, if you follow the mouse here, this log that sticks up in front of it. And I am always taking, basically this section of just the pool. And so I thought, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try to do a panoramic. So I believe this is a 3 or 4 shot panoramic. And I really like this a lot better. You have the lines going over here. You have the runoff, plus the runoff from the geyser here. And I think this works a lot better for this setting. And I was happy with it. I'm going to change some things next time. Like this log here, I wish it wasn't cut off at the bottom. But play around here. I'm going to play around with more panoramics because I think this is the best shot that I have of this hot spring, and it's the one I'm the happiest with. Then some bison. I had a friend today, Brandon, tell me while we were in the shop getting ready for the tour. He said, I pulled up behind you and, look at this bison. And he says, I saw some idiot laying on the ground. And I realized it was you. And so with the big bull bison like this, best place to take pictures of them is at 25 yards or more, which I'm always careful on my distance. I'm taking this with a 500 millimeter lens, but I am laying on the ground. I'm getting my camera as low as I can and making this bull just stand out and look big like this. I think this is one of my favorite things to shoot in the winter in Yellowstone. I do love the wolves. We don't see them very often. I'd love to have more opportunities with the bobcat and other things, but just these powerful animals, the snow on their face, it's hard to beat, especially when they're walking down the road right towards you. So bull bison, I got a few of those here. This one, the next 3 here, I'm debating on how much I like them. I feel like this one's oversaturated, but I think partially that's because of where the light's coming at. The light, you can kind of come telling this way. It's back behind this animal coming down. That's why the face is a little bit more shadowed. I was out with Bubba Sachs, some friends and family of his. They came on a tour, and a few of us went down to the river and had these 3 bulls, and we were kind of playing around, see what we can get. And I was right on the edge of the river along the Madison. I was tempted to just walk out on the river. It was getting towards the end of the day. And this bull started walking towards us, and it was walking. It was nice because it was splashing up the water. And it was a nice setting, a little bit of snow. So not sold on this one. I think the last one in here, this set, is kind of my favorite. Again, kind of looking. But this one, I think I like a little bit more. It's not perfect, but he's looking at me. He's head on. He's straight at me. Nice background. But it was just fun to sit there on the edge of the river, and you're 25, 30 yards from a 2,000-pound animal that's looking at you. They don't care. I mean, every once in a while he looked, and mostly what he was doing, you can see his grass hanging from his mouth, and they were right along the bank of the river, which you see a lot. It's one of the easiest places to get grass is right on the edge of the river. They're not worried about the temperature, and they're getting that easy grass, going for that easy meal, just kind of like every animal in the park. Well, thanks once again for tuning in. This is Adam with Tied to Nature, and this is for those that don't get out, can't get out, or can never get enough.